What's happening, YouTube? Jonathan Pariente, the Execution 10 here, coming at you guys with another video. I want to ask you guys to please continue to check and subscribe to my channel for more YouTube videos. So, as you could see in my Yankees shirt, today will be Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. Before I get any further, first, congratulations to the Washington Nationals for clinching the NLCS title on their side. They won their first ever National League pennant, and they will be moving on to the World Series for the first time in their franchise history. So they will await now the winner of the Yankees and Astros, and this will be an interesting Game 4 for a couple reasons. Let me get right into it. First, Game 4 was supposed to happen the other day, yesterday actually, but because of rain, and it made a lot of sense, the game got rained out. So they're making up the game today. Now, by doing this, it came with a little cost. That now gets rid of the travel day that would have been an off day between these two teams. So now that means both teams possibly have to play 4 consecutive games in a row without a day off. That's going to be a lot of, that's going to do a lot to both teams right here. And so you can't really say yet, did this break help either team or did it hurt both teams? You really kind of have to look at it in two different retrospects. Now, this helped the Yanks a little bit in the fact they didn't have to go to a bullpen game and their bullpen got a day of rest, which was needed. But now it kind of hurts them if the series goes longer for them. And this is also gonna be very interesting to see how the Yanks will tackle the rest of this series if they can possibly come back and win it. But Game 3 worried me a lot. The Yankees got chances against Garrett Cole. He was not at his best. And regardless, the Yankees still could not cash in off him when they had opportunities to do so. Verlander, you can kind of say they had similar chances, even though they really didn't for the most part of the game. They got the home run. But then after that, the Yankee offense completely disappeared, and then the Astros walked off in Game 2. So, going into now Game 4, Zack Greinke will pitch tonight against Masahiro Tanaka, and the Yankees need Tanaka tonight to give him length. Boone has said it very clearly that they need length out of him, and it's evident because that bullpen can't be used excessively like it's been, and particularly be asked to do it 4 days in a row. So Tanaka will have to give them length, and he gave him 6 innings, but Boone pulled him after 68 pitches. So when you look at it this way, you want Tanaka to maybe give you 7 or 8 innings, possibly even, just to ensure maybe only one guy of the pen is used, and then the rest of the pen can go the rest of the series. The Yankees made it very clear to not use their same guys out of the pen more than 2 days in a row. That's going to get tested now here for the rest of these playoffs. So, the Astros are going to make a very interesting move of their own. They're starting Greinke today, which made sense, playing him on regular rest. But for Game 5, the Astros are going to send Verlander to the mound against James Paxton. Now, I get why Houston's doing this to get a stranglehold on the series, but let's say the Yankees win Game 5. Let's say the Yankees go up 3-2. Houston seems very sure they will go up 3-2. I'm not saying it's impossible to say that, but let's say the Yankees go up 3-2. Going into Houston for Game 6. Then look what Houston has to do. They'll have to throw Garrett Cole on the mound just to prevent themselves from getting eliminated. And then who do they throw for Game 7 if we get to a Game 7? You can't pitch Cole on a day of rest. You can't pitch Verlander on 2 days rest. You're pitching Greinke up. Are you going to pitch Greinke on 3 days rest? I don't know if they're going to do that. They may have to go with that rookie kid of theirs, Jose Urquidy, and possibly go the rest of the game with a bullpen and make it be an all-hands-on-deck game. The Yankees will have a similar matter for Game 6 on their end. They don't know who's going to start Game 6 yet. Paxton will go Game 5. Tanaka's going Game 4. Game 6, could they go to Happ? That's a possibility. Or they bullpen the game for Game 6. And if they go to a Game 7 in some way, that'd probably be Luis Severino's turn. So a lot of interesting decisions are going to be made over the next few games. Can the Yankees get a 3-2 lead in the series before it goes back to Houston for Game 6, if we get to a Game 6. The Yankees must win tonight to ensure we have a Game 6. The whole Yankee lineup itself has to get going as well. Encarnacion, Gary Sanchez, Urshela, the bulk of the Yankee lineup, Didi. The bulk of this lineup have been hitting below 200 over the past 2 games. The Yanks have not been able to move runners. They haven't been able to get that big hit. They haven't been able to string hits together consistently so far in this series. It seems like everybody was going for the big hit. Once you go into that game, you're asking for trouble. The day off might have done wonders for the Yanks, maybe to be a little bit of a wake-up call for them. But we're really going to have to see how they respond for the 4th game of this series. And the beginning of the game could probably tell me a lot of things. The Yanks are going to have to score off Greinke. He has not been good in the playoffs. And if the Yanks want to win, they have to beat Greinke, like they did in Game 1. And then the Yankees will have to find a way to get to Verlander in Game 5. That's going to really be the determining factor of this series. If they can't beat Verlander and or Cole, the Astros are going to move on to the World Series. Plain and simple. Still don't know about the status of Giancarlo Stanton. And the tough decision to make, since he has a quad injury, the tough decision will be to make here is if the Yanks have to get him off the roster, he can no longer play in the World Series. So the Yankees are literally going to be without him for the rest of the year. The Yankees do have Tauchman back now, and he's been working out in the Yankees Tampa facilities, possibly to get a chance to play. And you know what? It wouldn't be a bad idea if Tauchman was back in the lineup. He kind of really helped the Yankees lineup extensively when he played. Had some good power, good patience, and really just had a good glove in left field. Don't know if the Yanks are going to go that avenue or not. The decision with Stanton has to be made pretty soon. So now as this ALCS will restart again from Game 4, very interesting questions will loom. Can the Yankees win Game 4? Possibly can they win Game 5 and come all the way back in Houston? It's a big test. It's a big challenge. And we're going to have to see how the Yankees will answer after a very terrible game the other night. We'll see what Aaron Boone does. We'll see what adjustments he makes. But particularly if you're the Yankees, they have to be careful now with this bullpen for the rest of the 4 games. So far, Adam Ottavino has proven he cannot handle the pressure so far. He's not pitched well. He's been walking runners. He doesn't start off innings the right way, and you have to wonder, will Aaron Boone have to make a decision to demote him from the regular bridge to Chapman? I think that's going to have to happen. So Aaron Boone's going to have a very big decision to make here for tonight and for the rest of this series going forward. How will they approach Houston for the remainder of this series? You have to hope for the Yankees something clicks. Something is going to have to click for the Yankees if they're going to have any chance to come back in this series. So for the Yankees, it all begins again. Game 4 tonight. Let's see if the Yankees can make a response and make a statement. Jonathan Pariente, The Execution 10, saying bye for now.